And I welcome P. Kanakaraju garu, Founder Chairman, ADARSA Group of Institutions, Founder Secretary, KORINGA Educational Institutions. Welcome, sir. Sashibhushana, sir, Joint Secretary and Director, Satya Group of Educational Institutions, Vizianagaram. Welcome, sir. Please be seated, sir. I welcome Dr. Prasanta Kumar Mohanty, Vice Chancellor, Centurion University of Technology and Management, Visakhapatnam. Welcome, sir. Imtiaz Arshad, Chief General Manager, HR at HPCL, CEO and Secretary, Skill Development Institute, Visakhapatnam. Welcome.
Panelists, I'm really glad and happy to be here. I think it's a lunch time, so we are not going to come between you and lunch. We'll keep this panel very short. Is that okay, team? So we have 30 minutes. We'll be very, very quick. We'll try to be very focused so that we are wrapping this panel, but with great insights. So very quickly, I think let's open the particular session and particular panel. We are talking about data-driven decision making. So I think since morning we really did talk about a lot of data, how data is impacting. I think my colleague Sabha did talk about how the world of work is changing. I want to ask the panelists here, and let's, with your opening remarks, how are we leveraging data-driven insights in our campuses? I have sir from HP India as well. So direct from industry to skilling, let's understand what kind of data-driven decision making that we are doing. What do we think about this particular topic? And I would have, we'll start the panel like this. Sir, so first introduction, then what do you think about the topic, opening remarks, and then we'll start engaging.
A very warm good afternoon to all of you, though it is not warm, but the discussions are very, very warm, very apt. I am from Hindustan Petroleum, Chief General Manager, and currently CEO and Secretary of a Skill Development Institute, Visakhapatnam. It is managed by Hindustan Petroleum and mandated by Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. That is the connect. Data and decision, both are D and both are, I think, just related very, very strongly. We take decision. Decision we take for what purpose? For change. Changing from what to where. So it is change of a status quo. Change of a status quo, if we want to do, we need to have data. Now, data is about what? If you look at data science, it is about observation. Observation is connected to information. Information is analyzed through data, and then interpretation is done, out of which we are able to decide or not to decide, validate or not to validate, hypothesis is correct or not correct. So in my opinion, data is extremely important. Question here is, are we treating data as data? Data is different kind. I won't go into science of it. But if we take, say, customer rating, that is not a continuous data, though that is a numerical data. We have some data which is called discrete. We have some data which is called continuous. Now that is the kind of science of data. I am not sure how, AI definitely will impact the way it is impacting for everybody. Understanding whether mean is important, whether median is important, whether mode is important, will decide how our decision making it is going to be. One more minute of it I will take you. We are talking of skill. Skill is about what? It is about how. What we have been learning since ages, and we have got rewarded for what? So we memorized. We became engineer without understanding engineering. I can talk about myself. I did my mechanical engineering. I memorized lot many things, topped the class, but how part of it was missing? That I learned through hard learning curve, hard way. I could manage because that was then. Today, industry wants you to perform on day one. How will you perform on day one? And that is my challenge today while handling Skill Development Institute. How to develop skill, which is very closely related to our own personality, the way we want to learn.
Okay, great. Imtiaz sir, thank you so much. Takeaway for me is, and what you highlighted, skilling is important. We understood data. But I think, sir, I'm going to come to you now. My quick request, if you can first introduce yourself, your institute, and then you let me know that, from a perspective when it comes to better education, outcomes. As an institute, are you leveraging, data? Now, when I say data, let's not get into the terms of data, but idea is how are we really approaching companies, skill gaps, how are we understanding the trends of the market so that we can effectively create outcomes? Sir, is that okay? Yeah. Can we cover that?
Yeah.
And you have a minute to do that, sir.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to everyone. Let me, but at first outset, I must appreciate that the topic which has been decided for the panel discussion is very, very prominent and very, very critical for education sector today. Yeah. See, taking decision is very critical than execution of a decision. And largely, if you see education sector, which is mostly service sectors, where we mostly do strategic planning. If you take about, for example, the curriculum, if I take an example, it's just a faculty decision that what is to be taught to the students. Correct. Today, it's not about teaching orientation, it's a learner concentric. When we have to take feedback from the stakeholders, which is very important to build the curriculum. How much in true sense that we are doing is again a question mark for every institute. So this is one area which we should not take a try or an experiment, because it's all about the future of a student. What we teach today, if it is not relevant, I think we are doing highly injustice to the student and its society at large. So therefore, the data is very, very critical for us to take a strategic decision related to curriculum. I'll give one more example. Students' services and expectations. If I take only student service expectation, educational institute, particularly in higher educations, the kind of feeding we get is very mostly general students. They are not specialized. Even I have seen largely many students, they decide a program or join a program because of having no proper information or a kind of awareness about the program what they are studying. It's largely influenced by parents and some guides and market. Now when they come to the college and they find that the program which they have joined is not meant for them, how this feedback comes to the decision taker?
Absolutely.
And that's very important for the head of the institution to take a specific feedback and understand, can it be multidisciplinary? Can we give a way out for that student to think that, okay, he has joined this program, can be leveraged and give an opportunity to go to another stream of program and then make a career out of it. Because today it is not about education. It's about passion. It's about competency. If both are not there, I think it's getting success is very difficult.
Absolutely. So do you do that in your...
Absolutely. We do that. We are the skill university, the first skill university in the country. Okay. And we are very much believe in creating job skill which are critically aligned to the industry. So we are very much closely interacting with the industry, and we are offering programs which are specific job skill oriented courses, and we call it as a domain, and that requires only when you have stakeholder inputs. And obviously without that, it is impossible to deliver a curriculum which really can build a career of the student.
Great. I think a takeaway for me is, and for the entire group, I really request, group, we understand we might be hungry, but when we are here in the panel, let's actually listen to the panelists, what they are, kind of talking and speaking, so that we can all have our takeaways back. So I really request not talking with each other, let's listen. So the takeaway, I think, sir, very call out, you need to first understand what is student expectation as well. What are they going to do? What are the outcomes we can create? Talking to industry, getting the feedback, the jobs which can give them employability. I think this is what I will summarize this point. May I, sir, I request you, and sir, you are from Centurion. You are from Centurion, sir, sorry.
Satya Group. Yeah.
You are from Satya Group. I would like to ask you, especially, I think NEP 2020 is implemented in Andhra Pradesh as well. It's an old wine in new bottle, but what I think it is giving a lot of direction towards employability. So do you feel a relatability in your college or data? Again, we are coming to data. So again, data driven, what I mean is something which is with examples, trends.
Yeah, friends, good afternoon. I'm Director, Satya Group of Institutions, Vizianagaram. First of all, I want to thank the organizers, especially LinkedIn and other media group for giving this opportunity to interact with you all. Friends, data is the new normal. Data is the new oil. Data is the new gold. These were the popular phases nowadays. Okay? Even recently our Prime Minister was saying how we can leverage the data, because every day each one of us in India, we are producing a minimum of 15 GB data, okay? And then how to use this data, and then there comes the data analytics. So being in the higher education institutions, we use this for all purposes, whatever we do, maybe starting from the admission process, and then curriculum designing, delivery, and then finally also placements and all, and finally having contacts with the alumni also. So all these we use the data. How well we can use this and all, okay, different tools are available, and then as in the previous speaker said, no, the generative AI and all these were there. So using all those things, we want to ultimately to serve the student community in a better way, and then to connect with the industry. Thank you.
Correct, great, sir. Sir, Kanakaraju, sir, I wanted to ask you, okay, at your level, I'm assuming there is a lot of information comes to you. You need to look after admissions, placements, as a chairman capacity, lot of things. What do you see a change happened in last 10 years as a higher education industry? I mean, this is my question, but please add with your remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody. I thank to ArdorComm Media who is giving opportunity to present some words here. So data, that is, actually, this is related to today's topic is actually higher education summit and award function. Actually, higher education, what is the data need? What is the need of data? Because there is a different sector collecting data. In a principal collecting data of the examination. Placement cell collect the data of the industry. And the admission manager data collected by the plus 2 students. So in so many ways we can collect the data and analyze what are the students' ambition before going to take their admission. Based on that only we are set up in our institution to get the admissions. Any higher education. Now the higher education is around the campus placements. Instead of giving good education, they are giving the job roles, because we are concentration at the getting the jobs in various industries. Suppose my pharmacy college, we are collecting the data. What are the pharmacy industries throughout our institution? What are their needs? How can we are interact with them? How can we are train them? How can they get the job? In this way, we are collect the data, we are analysis, what is the need of the industries, and we can some skills insert our curriculum, we can train the students. If any institution get the data from the surrounding by the higher education, if they are giving training according to their needs, definitely they will get the employability. This is way higher education, every higher education now connect with all the 90% institutions, engineering institutions are computer-based institutions.
Yes.
Every institution, they are collect the data from the, what are the data science, what are the new courses, and they are linked up with some industries also. They are virtually, they are giving training to the students apart from the curriculum. In this way, they are get the more training, because here LinkedIn also is there.
Yes.
LinkedIn also, they are giving so many training tools is there.
Absolutely. Yes.
According to the needs, the pharmacy students, some skills they provide. Computer science students, some skills need, they will provide. If the students collect the data, not only from the institution, from the globally, because the internet is there. If the cell phone is in our hand,
Yes.
the whole world is in our hand. This is the data in the Google, but it is our duty to collect what is data need to us to grow ourselves as well as the people around us. If do like that, definitely it will help to the students community, because every student get the data and analyzing in a systematic way. If you get the job, it is nothing but it will help for the increasing the, definitely globally we can get the opportunities, because here some tools is there. How can get the global opportunities?
Yes.
Because it is we are act locally, but we must reach the globally.
Absolutely. I think great point, sir. It's very, very important to leverage LinkedIn, or leverage internet, in fact, Google, and find out what skills.
Because every institution, every student, we are not in rural, we are in the global. The thought should be in local. You must act should be global. Then only we can reach the, definitely, highly. I suggest all the institutions, the principal, staff, and everybody must act globally. You must show the way how to reach the global heights to the students. Thank you.
Absolutely. Dr. Mohanty, I have a question here for you, because again, you did give a great example how curriculum needs to be benchmarked basis students. I would like to know any challenges, because alumni plays a very, very important role. Again, when we are designing curriculums, trainings, other needs, do you think as higher education institutes today, we are actually leveraging our alumni to create opportunities for students?
Still, I think this is very, very, what I would say, not very effectively we have been able to optimally use the alumni resource or alumni connect. Because alumni is something like, they also expect something in return from the university and institute. So what is the engagement that we are having with alumni? Because it's all again in the cycle, right?
Yes.
And you need to understand, alumni is also one of the important stakeholder of higher educations.
Yes.
Now, how do we connect with them? Are we considering their feedback? Like there are policies available. Today is everything. When we calculate PEOs, that's in a curriculum, we call it as PEOs. That's basically to be the feedback taken from alumni. But are we really connected with alumni? Do you have a mechanism to get the feedback from alumni and work on the curriculum? Or work on developing the students or grooming the students? See, that's again is a very, very, very tedious task.
It's a tedious task. So it is not whether, you may not be every institution is leveraging
it is challenging.
alumni data.
It's very challenging. I'll tell you one more thing also. Leave apart alumni. Do we know we have faculty resource in university? See, I have a vice chancellor. I'm talking about my challenges.
Sure.
I have faculty members now. I need to understand who has got what capability or what extracurricular, what you call talents, where I can utilize his resource other than teaching. It's very essential.
Yes.
For a head of institute to take such decision and understand, put the right person in the right place.
Correct.
Now, if I don't have that mechanism of getting information and understanding my resource, and optimally if I don't use that resource, that becomes a problem. And that leads to operational challenge. So today, data is also equally important to optimally use the resources and meet the operational challenges. And that's what perhaps we are using it, and I'm talking about whatever practicing.
But how are you doing it if, for everyone?
We do that. See, that's how a mechanism we have. I used to personally get engaged with each and every faculty, very beyond office hours, and it's something understand his profile, his family background, his academic background, his passion, interest, how he spend time beyond teaching and all that, because we are very much linked to very professionally. No, it has to go beyond that.
Great.
Once
So
I understand that, that's what is a feedback where the data which I have now, and possibly I can work on it and I'll put that person into do it. Let's say, for example, I'll give best example. Recently I did it what? Student satisfaction is one of the key factors.
CSAT.
Now we deal with a student's variety where it is very difficult to address each and every students. But every student is unique. Please understand that.
Yes.
For me it is 1,000, but for that students, for his parents, for his community is one. I need to take care of everybody. So how do I manage these expectations? There are a lot of communication gaps between the students and the faculty, management and the students. Higher education is very, very challenging. And how do you have a mechanism to do that? So we keep doing these practices to have a continuous engagement with the students. We do a lot of what you call campus activities to identify the talents, understand their requirement. It's not that CSR will be working on the CSR faculty decide what is to be done.
no, I understand.
Let the faculty students to decide.
So great student-faculty engagement, but I
Yes.
think the great point to take away, from this discussion is employee engagement
Yeah.
is very, very important, because faculty is the doorway for students as well.
Absolutely.
If your faculties are happy, that's where faculty development, faculty engagement,
Yeah.
that can be put to use in multiple purposes. Like sir, you mentioned, there are other things that you can get
Yes.
it done. Okay, so thank you so much. So this is one aspect we wanted to kind of check. HR is very, very important. Keeping faculties development, faculty engagement, very, very important and crucial. Sir, I have Imtiaz sir. Again, my question to you now. You are from Skill University, powered by HPCL. I want to ask you, being a skilled university, especially semi-skilled and unskilled professionals come to your university. I want to ask you, how do you find that skill gap? Because you did say there is a gap. You prepare students for employability. Do you reach out to companies, understand what are they hiring for, and then try to plug those skill gaps? Wanted to understand.
A very pertinent question today. Because on the one side, education institution says, I have produced students. On the other side, industry says, they are no good. I am being blunt or crude, but that's how I have seen in various seminars. Earlier, we used to do some job roles, right from welder, fitter, electrician, those kind of ITI and +2 jobs, to some white collar job like Python, Java, full stack, and those kind of things, no? And other mechatronics and those kind of aspects of it. We have found that whatever we are producing, they are not getting employed, or even if employed, not gainfully employed. Then last over 1 year, we have been going to various industries, conducting seminars like this with them, and then asking them, you tell me what all skills you need. So again, it is old age principle of supply and demand. What you demand, we will supply.
Okay.
So that part of it has really helped us in the last 1 year, where we are going to industry and asking them what you need. Now here the problem is, what you need in say 3 months or 6 months, our courses are usually 3 months type. It is about skilling, about how to. We don't really educate, but we just make them prepared to go to work and start contributing some value with respect to employable skills in terms of technical skills or in terms of behavioral skills or whatever it is. But here the question is, now 60 to 70% kids who are graduating or post-graduating are deemed to be unemployable. I don't know, this is what data says. How right, how wrong, I won't comment.
Even after getting the right skills from the company, they are still unemployed.
All educational institutions, people who are coming out from educational institutions, 60 to 70% of BTechs, MTechs, MBAs, MCAs are deemed to be unemployable by the industries. And when I have conducted a session like this, I have found it that both of them talk from their perspective. Now the question here is, why it is happening? One of the way which I look at it is, probably industry wants value from day one.
correct.
That is how. When I joined, I took 1 year, I was a trainee for 1 year, 1988. I had the liberty, today industry has not. If that is the case, then educational institutions need to really go into a different level, in my opinion. We are part of education, of course. After that, they were coming to skilling. So we have added some element of skilling, which really makes them valuable from the day one. But this is one area, since all vice chancellors and other people are here, you can have, it's not only skill, it is what the skill which will add value to the company. Second part of it is, data should be used for prediction as well. Arithmetic data we have used, and we have 100% of computer education. We have seen the data from madam. After 2 years, they are all going to be unemployable. So data many times misguide also if we don't understand data. We need to see the trend, we need to analyze, we need to have a hypothesis, have a statistical analysis, then predict and then take action. Short term arithmetic analysis will help. That is my point. Long term, we need to have predictive analysis, and there lot many, another set of skills should come. Third part of it, before I close, many times we reach at conclusion and generate data accordingly. I have seen in many institutions. Be aware whether data is being used for arriving at a decision, or you have arrived decision and then making data safe for that. Thank you.
I think, sir, very right. Personal touch is very important. All the points that you have highlighted.
Can I add
yes,
one
please,
point? Yeah.
Please.
But let me just add one point. See, as an university, as a group, we have, since we are talking about skill, we have trained more than 5 lakhs school dropout and placed in various sectors. We do skilling for school dropout, we do skilling for higher education, and we do upskilling and reskilling for people working in industry. Okay. We have 3 verticals under university. See, as sir says, it's actually, it's identification. It has to be a match.
Yes.
No, you cannot pull. When we do students, we can mobilize students for school dropouts, bring them to the training center and keep them in the campus, train them. You know, to understand, give them an wider exposure. What are all you have? Let the guy to choose what he wants to do. Because that choice we are not giving. And possibly what we are looking at, we are just feeding it. Okay, do it. When he said he is not comfortable with the work with the machine, perhaps he doesn't have a liking for the machine.
Yes.
He doesn't want to make hands dirty. How can he work in mechanical engineering? So this is something where we are lacking today, and that's not done at the school level. Again, I'm not putting a blame, but that orientation is not there. So suddenly when somebody is coming at a higher education level, you have to serve a buffet. You have to say that bike, go and move around. See, whatever you feel like, pick it up. If you don't like anything, go out.
Yes. Ideally,
Because
that's
how you have to work. And that's what requires a lot of data. And I think even for, as you said, talking about for university and institutions, we need a lot of data to understand the trend in terms of admission, dropout, and the demand for the courses.
Yes.
Which we have to do predictive analysis.
Absolutely.
This is also important to run the institution.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sir, any closing?
Studies, in the morning also, it was, as far as school education is concerned, around 12 lakhs students were dropped out from government schools. Where they went, we don't have the data and all. It so happened.
Because future is about green. And we have started some course basis that prediction, which we are proved right now. 1 year back, we have taken some decision. So we collect this data from industry. Now carbon footprinting, crediting, all these are getting into the system. Likewise, we have taken employable skills like Python, Java, and those kind of front-end developer. We had host of courses, 20 courses. We rationalized to 5. Basis this input from the industry. So we have various sources to get the data which we are using and then predicting courses for next 1 year or 2 years. Here our sense is that we need to ask industry what exactly they need. So that is our challenge basically, to get the data from industry, what they need.
It's all about what industry needs.
Absolutely.
So how do we identify, every industry will have their own needs. So how do we summarize and impart those needs here?
Ma'am, I'll quickly...
That is the challenge. That is the challenge I told you.
That's what I'm going to
The
talk
more
about.
you do, the matter. And data, just last line, data is about getting percentage right.
Ma'am, I'll just give you a point. There are so many reports to answer your question. You just have to go through a lot of reports which are available, and especially on net zero, carbon zero, green skills. In fact, LinkedIn has a green skill report. Please use it on Google. Green skill report 2023. You will get all the green skills which are available, because supply chains are changing. We are talking about a lot of industries. You will get a lot of inputs from there. Sir, question.
And anyway.
No, sir, ask your question and then we'll go for it.
In fact, the learned colleagues on the dais have already opined that there is a lot of gap between the skilling that we really to do and then the infrastructure or the curriculum design that we make, as Vice Chancellor has also opined just now. Is this data-driven decision making would really give some impact for us? For example, we have got some program outcomes. One of the best program outcomes that the moderator has put it before, lifelong learning. See, lifelong learning is the program outcome, but the design of the syllabus is not actually meeting to that expectation. So in between this gap, may we put this data-driven decision making, or may we really have some data to think and then analytically possible solution to be brought out? In that case, anywhere this data-driven system is going to help us. Will there be?
It's possible. And back to the faculty community, they are happy with what they want, been teaching for last so many years. So they don't want to change, right? So it is very, very important, and you have to push it. And it says senior leadership decision. If you allow faculty to think and decide, it will be only, old wine in the new bottle. That's all. So you have to implement. It's over.
Last, sir, everything, sir, if the teachers or industries, whoever maybe, if they are not updated, they are outdated. Simple. Everybody update according to the needs of the society, needs of today, needs of tomorrow. Then only we can develop. This is my conclusion.
Thank you so much. Great panelists that we have. Thank you so much for everyone's time and inputs. Thank you. You've been a great audience. We'll connect with everyone during the lunch.
And thank you, Anshul, for doing a very good job. Thank you. We meditate in the time.
P. Kanakaraju garu, thank you so much, sir. Thanks for joining us. Professor M. Sashibhushana garu, Joint Secretary and Director, Satya Group of Educational Institutions, Vizianagaram. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your presence. Dr. Prasanta Kumar Mohanty, Vice Chancellor, Centurion University of Technology and Management. Thank you. Imtiaz Arshad, Chief General Manager HR at HPCL, CEO and Secretary. Thank you, sir. Anchalji, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.